Alright, so I've had a chance to test these glasses out, right? To test the Echo frames out. So I've had them for a little bit over a week. Now, I didn't actually get my lenses in here and put the lenses into top from my optometrist. Instead, what I just did is wore contact lenses, and then I just wore these glasses like I'm wearing any other glasses, right? That give me a feel of um, what it's like wearing the glasses for throughout the day and using the glasses and all the features that it provides. And I would highly recommend that if you do decide to purchase these, to do the same. Get a feel for it, see if the lenses or the frames are comfortable before you spend an extra $200-300 to actually get your lenses added into these frames and then make the full commitment. Because yes, you could return the frames, but those lenses, your optometrist is probably not going to be able to take them back. So there's a couple things I want to talk about today. Here, the first thing is let's just talk about the frame quality overall, right? So I didn't really talk too much about that. So over extended period of time, the frame, the frames really, the weight of them is not noticeable, right? They're not really any different than my current glasses. Now, of course, I do have prescription lenses in here, so that does add a little bit extra weight that I don't experience with these. But overall, they do feel, even in my hand, they feel kind of like your standard thicker plastic lens frame. So I don't think really the weight and when I was wearing them around is really gonna should be a concern when you're looking at these, because I feel like they really feel like just any other type of glasses when you wear them. And overall, the front of the frames here, so it's made out of plastic, of course. Now, the one thing that I did notice is the plastic around the front of the frame does feel a little bit thin. It's a lot more bendy than any of the other glasses that I've owned, and it does feel very thin on the plastic. So that kind of brings up a little concern. Maybe did they make sure that's thinner so they can kind of lighten the frames overall? Is that the reasoning behind it, or a particular reason? But of course, that's a little bit of a concern, right? I feel like they're not as thick and not as strong, right? So, remember, glasses are something you wear every day, so you want to make sure that they're sturdy and that they're not going to break if they fall off your face. That's going to happen, whether you're just walking or you're drop something, you're picking it up, your glasses fall off your face because they're not fit right. Those things happen, and you gotta factor those in. So as far as the features, obviously you can probably look up all the features I have, but there's really, you connect these through the Alexa app, and then on the frames there's two buttons. On the right side, there's a small button, which is going to be you can press the button to enable Alexa if you like. So if you press the button once, then it enables Alexa, and you can just ask it a question without having to say the word Alexa. You can also wake it by just saying the word Alexa as well if you like. So it is possible to wake Alexa without pressing the button. There's a volume button as well when you press these. So there's a volume button. And then on the right side, right here as well, is going to be where you're going to control some movements. So you can swipe your finger to answer calls, to dismiss a call if you like. If you don't want to use Alexa, and let's say you want to use your Google Assistant, since right now these glasses only work with Android, you're going to have your Google Assistant. You can also hold on the side here, which will wake your Google Assistant, and you can use that to do any sort of commands, right? And then under here is where you're gonna have your speakers. So after some testing, if there's music playing and I hold the glasses on the side, I can hear that. But when I actually wore the glasses, when I had some coworkers also wear the glasses and play some music, I really didn't hear any of the sound when I was close by them. So I think overall, this is going to be very good as far as the speakers. No, people around you are not going to hear. I made a couple phone calls while I was in loud spaces. I also while I was driving, and the people that I called, they told me that I sounded perfectly fine, and they didn't have any problems hearing me. Nor did I really have any problems hearing them either. So I think overall the sound for phone calls and the microphone are really well. They worked well from my experience, and overall, I think that they really worked well for those type of things. Now, of course, these are connected through Bluetooth, so you can play audio as well. Right, so music sounds just as you expect in tiny little speakers. Right, you're not going to get the best audio quality when it comes to speakers. I mean, that's just how it is. Or you're not going to get that bass. But overall, if you're just looking for something that plays music, and you're not too concerned about the sound, then this works well as well. Now, of course, audiobooks. This is really good as well for audiobooks because you're just going to be listening to audiobooks, right? The sound is not as important in those type of situations. So overall, in that case, it comes in handy. Now, if we kind of try going away from the whole gimmicky of Alexa being on your eyewear, right? These definitely have some uses. In my case, I think that ultimately, you're gonna have to decide if this is something that's worth for you. At a price of $179, which is what I paid for them. Now that $179 is at a discount right now because right now they're not generally made available to purchase through Republic, but the planned glasses are going to be, I believe, at $249 unless that changes. So at $249, these are already going to be kind of on the upper end. Yes, there's definitely glasses that you can get that are going to be much more expensive than that for the frames. And of course, there's going to be glasses that are going to be a lot cheaper as well for the frames. You can get frames and glasses for $100, where in this case, you're spending $250 just for the frame, and then on top of that, you got to get your prescriptions, right? So you're looking at $500-$600. And then of course, if you have eye insurance, maybe your insurance company will reimburse it if you mail in a form to them, and they might reimburse the frames. But that's going to be extra work that you're going to have to deal with. So that's just something to factor in. And at $250, you can get really a good set of speakers, a good set of wireless speakers that have the ability to trigger your phone assistant, for example. So you can get the features that these provide in headphones, so you can get these type of features in different type of equipment. So ultimately, it really comes down to, is this something that you feel like you're going to utilize? Now, in my case, I actually plan on returning these glasses. Now, I felt the fit was comfortable. The battery for what I was using it lasted throughout the day. Overall, I thought it was very comfortable to wear, and there are some cool things about it, like taking phone calls was very easy, and listening to audiobooks I liked. Kind of having that and still being aware in the situation, or aware of what's going on in the surroundings is really nice. But as far as the reason why I'm returning these, and it's not something that's for me, is because reality is, I sit at a desk all day. I'm in front of a computer. If I need to listen to music, I'm gonna listen through my headphones, which has better sound quality, or I'm gonna be listening it through my computer speakers. Right? I'm not necessarily gonna be using my glasses to look through them. And honestly, I don't get a lot of phone calls, so there's really no need for me to have this. And I don't walk. I live in California, where you got to drive everywhere. So it's not like I'm going to be walking to work, walking home, or walking around. I'm going to be driving everywhere. When I'm driving, I'm not going to be listening to these. I'm going to be listening to listening to music on my car. If a call comes in, it goes through the car speakers, right? So there's not too much use for myself. But where I would really consider if I was in retail, or let's say a customer facing type situation, where maybe I'm on the retail floor, always walking around, always interacting with customers, and there's going to be times that nothing's going on, and you wish you could be listening to music, but you can't have headphones in your ears because that's not going to be professional. Your company's not going to allow that, so you can kind of sneakily get away with these glasses and listen to your music, listen to your audiobooks. Customer comes up, just go and pause it, and they would have no idea that you're listening to audio, right? You got a text message, you can listen to your text message in your eyeglasses, right? And then you can even respond to them without ever having to take your phone out of your pocket. So it's kind of a cool feature, and that's definitely where, if I was in that type of situation, that's something that I would buy. Now you got to keep in mind as well that these glasses are not waterproof. It actually says in the instructions, do not get them wet. So that's something else that you got to factor in. If you live somewhere where it rains a lot, and you're wearing your glasses. Now, I'm not going to take these glasses out when it's raining to test it out, unfortunately, because I don't want to break them, right? I don't want to not be able to return them just because I took them out. So that's something to factor in. It also says heat can damage them, so this is probably more related to when you go to the optometrist and they have to make an adjustment on the frames to fit your face. They usually heat up the plastic so it kind of bends a little bit, and then they reform the plastic. So you got to factor it in, high heat. So it is going to make, these are going to be a little bit more, you got to take a little bit more care of them to avoid them breaking, because they break, it's probably not something easily replaced. And now not only are you out frames, but you're also out lenses. Whereas if I break my glasses here or my hinges, I can just take them to the optometrist and they can fix them, and they're good to go. And same thing here, if I break these hinges, of course, maybe there's a way to fix them, but again, we got electronics in here. And, how is this going to function 2 years from now, 3 years from now? They may not be functioning anymore. Or, it's a piece of technology. 2-3 years, it's going to be obsolete. They're going to have slimmer frames, they're going to have better quality. So those are all things that you got to factor in. Whereas glasses are more of a utility, right? You have several different type of pairs of glasses, or maybe you just have one pair of glasses. And these are definitely not ones where I would get if they're my only pair of glasses. These would be a type of glasses that I would have as maybe backup, or in situations where I might want to have some sort of audio file, or be able to listen to my phone, or use the assistant, right, without really people around me knowing what's going on that I'm listening to. So a couple things that you should factor in. Overall, I think it's kind of a neat idea. And the thickness, one note that I want to mention, thickness, right? If you look at these glasses and when they're off, you can totally tell that the side is super thick, right? But when you actually have the glasses on and you walk around, it's actually really difficult to tell because of the way it goes up. The thick part bumps up right to your ear. So as far as they know, when people are looking at it, it really just kind of looks like a design. It's if your main concern is the sides are going to be too thick, everyone's going to know. The reality is no one's really going to know. Even the people I told, that I'm wearing these glasses, they kind of really couldn't tell unless I took them off and showed them to the side. So thickness is definitely something I wouldn't worry about. So remember, though, if you have an iPhone, these are not going to work. Doesn't work with Siri. Tried it on an iPhone. Basically, Alexa app just doesn't pair with it. Even the assistant, if I hold it down, it doesn't work with the Siri. It kind of brings it up for a split second and then turns it off. It's not usable for it. So you got to make sure you have an Android on a newer version, 8.0, if you do decide to purchase it. So that's very important, at least at this time. Whether they're going to make that change and it's going to work for your iPhone, I'm not sure. That could be a restriction, part of the iOS, right, of how restrictive, a little bit more restrictive they are. But but that obviously can change. So it's up to you guys if you would like to purchase these lenses. Overall, I really enjoy testing them. These ones I might be returning, but you know, in the future, if they come out with something similar like this, I'm definitely would be willing to try it again or try a different type. If you know, maybe if these become a little bit more durable feeling and also waterproof, I think would really be a necessity when it comes to these lenses, because again, your eyewear, you're going everywhere, and it's gonna rain, it's not gonna rain, it might get wet, they're gonna fall off your face. You want to make sure that they survive those type of damages. So I appreciate your time. If you're still watching this, great. I appreciate taking a look at here. Let me know if you have any questions.